Hello,
Okay,
everyone.
we're live. Good morning. Sorry, I was so busy trying to look at the comments. Hello to
Hello, everyone.
Jane the Secret. So glad to have you here to say good morning
Hey,
and
Jane, and
welcome.
oh, there's Gerald.
I know. And Gerald, good morning and welcome. Let me put down Jane and Gerald. Just want to welcome you both.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have you here. And so I am so very excited about my guest. So I'm going to introduce in a minute, or actually let him introduce himself. I always want to say thank you to those of you who subscribe to the channel. Thank you to the new subscribers. And thank you to the people who, I don't know if you subscribe, you catch it later, but I love seeing 13, 20, 25 people in the chat. And then I'll see later, 150 views. It's like, yes, and why? Because I want people watching my content, of course. I have great and amazing guests, and I want people to be able to see them. So it's all good. But thank you to those of you who watch later. I really appreciate it. And thank you to those of you who are here now. Of course, my boyfriend Gerald, my sweet cakes Jane, and anyone who's lurking, you are welcome here. And so today, welcome to Tarot Talk with Manasa, the Diva of Divination. That is me. And we have Jay of now Herc213 and then also Herc420.
Yep, on Instagram. Well, it used to be Herc213 on Instagram, but that was another story. So it's kind of like my old page got shut down. So I was Herc213 all over. So I was trying to get my Instagram page back, but no success. I pleaded like at least 6 times. So it's like but I just made a new
Just made
page
a
for
new
like
one. Okay.
for 20. So
Oh, very good. Very 420. But thank you,
yep.
Gerald, for letting me know that the notice is posted. And so, welcome again. I am glad that you're here. So, let me give, I don't do a shameless plug because there's no shame in what I do. So, I want to just talk about some of the products. Of course, join me in the mornings, Morning with Manasa. So, subscribe to my channel. And to let you all know, because I know this will come as a surprise, that I am turning 59 at the end of this month. I know.
Oh, awesome.
And so for my birthday, my whatever my age is, my tarot readings are that percent off. And so this year, my birthday, the tarot readings are 59% off. Use the code BDAY59. I'll put it in here.
Awesome. Good to see everyone in the chat room. Gerald and Jane the Seeker. I was watching her live stream earlier. It's good stuff.
She's my sweetie pie. Yeah, I have to, Jane, I'm going to text you. I want to know how your sleep study went because that
Mm,
was the last time I had seen her on. So BDAY code 59. Down below, beneath here is Jay's YouTube channel. If you don't subscribe to him, what in the heck? Please subscribe to his channel. And the link is down there. Then, if you want to schedule with me, the link and the code are also there. And so, let's get going. Good morning to my daughter, Lily Benu. And so, I just want to welcome you, Jay. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for saying yes. And one of the things that I was telling him backstage is that I've had this same conversation with Gerald, it's like men in magic. And so gay men in magic. And then, Gerald introduced me to British gay men in magic, and so just that understanding. And so what I had shared with Gerald is that in our community, for as African American people, there is still some of that old machismo, because if you go to a black church, a traditional black church, you're not going to see many men in there. That there's women in there. The men are all in charge. Okay, that's a whole different story, right? They're
mm,
all in the pulpit, and the women are all in the seats. And so that patriarchalism, that not honoring the matrilineal. But when you step into this field, or yoga or wellness, there is that connection, that synergy. And I see that in you, Jay. So will you please take some time, share your story, and let us know how you got into yoga, wellness, into to what I call the magical realm of tarot cards. And Jay, Gerald, Lily is not traveling. She's leaving September 1st. All right, take it away, Jay.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for inviting me too. And good to see everyone in the chat. New faces, familiar faces, Gerald and Jane, and, new people like Lily and everyone else too. So, and just really to start off with, my story when it comes to how I got into wellness and, tarot too. And it's just, oh gosh, if I could break it all down, it could be like a Netflix show. So I'll just, when it comes to wellness, I was always into wellness, so it's kind of like just basically I'll just start the journey around 2013. So it's kind of like I was in my 20s, just work like being a gym rat too, just working out, staying healthy, trying to eat healthy, and then like I discovered when it comes to yoga, in my first yoga class, it was just like in LA Fitness, around 2013. So it's kind of went there too, trying to see what it's all about and everything else, and it's just like even before 2013. I should say 2012, I was just really, get into it. And then around 2013, I met this awesome, beautiful person. Her name is Paula too. Viola. She was from Mexico. We're still best friends to this day too, like for almost 9 years. And she taught me the spiritual aspects of yoga. And then that kind of changed my
Mm.
whole perspective when it comes to yoga. Cause I was open to like, spiritual teachings because I stopped, I love, when it comes to God and Jesus, but it's just like the religion part too. I kind of stopped after. It was a time after Michael Jackson died in 2009. So after like his passing, it was kind of like I had that revelation, like, you know what? The church doesn't like no shade against anyone who goes to church, but for me it's like, nah, I just want to do something more, expansive, like spiritual. So it's kind of like, I got into that too with the wellness stuff. And it's just like, with essential oils, I got into it in 2017. A friend of mine, her name was Alicia, I'll just say that. And she, had her weekly classes, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get some essential oils from her. And she introduced me to doTERRA, and you make your own account and help people get essential oils. You can make an income out of it too. So it kind of all of it came down to it as well. Then with tarot, that was probably like around like the pandemic of 2020.
Mm.
Met like my friend named Goth Angelic. She's probably known on YouTube as Goth Angelic. Her name was Lola. Shout out to her. She's the one that I met up with her on Instagram, and then the next thing like I saw her with Debbie Fever Spirit, and I met her, and then I met other people too. And that's how I found Ron and, Lisa, the Nasty Women, and then you guys. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my journey. And so far, it's been really interesting, too, especially, going to ups and downs with life. If you lose a parent, like my mother, it's unexpected. But even before that, too, like my mom was always a big supporter of me just with my spiritual path. And even just with her, too, it's kind of like growing up on it, too. Like we never like go to church, but we always kind of have an open policy when it comes to spirituality. So like even with my mom, even my dad too, and my grandpa from my mom's side, always, if you what you believe in and what you believe in too when it comes to spirituality. If you want to go to church, so be it. If you don't, that's cool too. We won't force you. And that was really surprising because, even with my mom growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, I just found out
Wow.
at a birthday party. It was kind of like, that's interesting. That's kind of the same kind of background as Michael Jackson. This was kind of like interesting. That's wondering why I was a big fan of his too. So it's kind of like this, like putting those kind of things together, but it was just really interesting too. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome so far with my spiritual journey, and now I'm just having fun expressing my spiritual journey, just with everything from
Mm.
creativity to wellness to spirituality with the tarot cards, oracle. That's why I'm wearing this shirt today too, to train for ultra instinct. So yes, yes, indeed.
Well,
Hopefully
that's
that.
very surprising because I have some JWs in my family as well, and so initially not very open. They're not too cool. They're not as open to me doing my little magical stuff, and I'm married to a woman, so they're kind of already over the edge. But how fascinating! Hey, Serena, that your
Hey,
family
Mama
would know
Bear, that's Serena. She's awesome, a
that
powerhouse.
is very awesome. And so let's talk about so now Jay and I have two, we're going to pull three cards each, one from a wands or a fire card, so we can see what was the energy, what was the lesson for us to learn from Leo season. And then we have a pentacles or grounded or cards like that, talking about as we head into Virgo. Hmm. Virgo season,
Beautiful
but you know,
singing
Michael
voice.
Jackson, my birthday is August 28th. His birthday is August 29th. So,
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
Michael Jackson. Oh, the day that he died, I was at work and I just remember it was like, what the,
I was out of state. I was in Virginia, and my cousin was saying like Michael Jackson died. I thought it was another rumor trying to smear his name. I was like, BS. And my mom called me. I was like, what the hell? And then she was sad, and she was kind of like she lost like her relatives. So I was like, shit, it's true. So I was in shock. I was like, no way. Like at first, I didn't believe it. Kind of like we know what happened with Kobe Bryant. I was like, you couldn't believe it. So it's kind of like sad to hear it too. So
I know. So it is very funny because about Kobe Bryant, I was at the spiritual center that I'm a part of. When I came home, and my daughter says, "Oh, her friend, oh, I can't think of his name now. He called all crying because Kobe Bryant died." And when she said that, I said, What do you mean? What do you mean Kobe Bryant died? Like I couldn't. That concept of what do you mean? She's like, he died. It's like Kobe Bryant, like it was like so. Yeah, yes, and
yeah.
that's right. Kobe Bryant, also Virgo, 8/24. And then my daughter's reminding us about Queen Beyonce, who was, I think, at September 4th. And hello to my sweetie pie, Cheyenne.
You
Uh,
mean Beyonce? Beyonce?
Beyonce is September 4th.
Hmm.
Yeah, do you don't see that Virgo power, the Queen?
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's right. I went to her concert in 2013. It
Oh,
was
you
fun.
did?
Yeah, she had like this gorgeous kind of like sparkling dress, kind of like the Michael's Love. It's all crystallized, but it was really cool. She stood out in like the
Of
and
course.
like that song, "Girls Rule the World." That was kind of like that hit song too around that
Mm.
time. So it was the same week I went to my first anime expo, and it was like, ooh, it was wild. So it was awesome. It was a good week.
Very good. So let's talk about what is the spirituality of Dragon Ball Z. I remember I was talking to
Ooh,
someone about
that's an
this is how
interesting
I
question.
was trying to tell him how you grow and evolve spiritually, and he's like, I said, like Kamehameha. I said, the energy. That's how Reiki works. He was like, oh, I thought,
You
my
got the
God,
voice
did I
down.
just use a Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. The spiritual aspect of Dragon Ball universe, I should say, is really interesting because it's kind of like, based on martial arts too and balanced medicine, kind of like, with yoga, meditation, martial arts too. And it's just like, Kamehameha is I think it's name of a king in Hawaii too. If you read the origins of it too, that's actually a Hawaiian name, Kamehameha. But it's kind of like now it's popular because it's an
Hmm.
attack move in the anime, I mean, Dragon Ball universe for many years, but it's with the spiritual aspect of Dragon Ball in this Dragon Ball universe is very interesting because it really talks about balanced medicine and just when it comes to your energy, your key energy, and just really with meditation and just really having a clear mind, strong body, strong soul too. And it's kind of
Hmm.
like just when it comes to ultra instinct, it's kind of like a state of transformation state where you're just not thinking, you're just reacting to, kind of like in a flow state. So it's kind of like with Goku, he reached that kind of you know uh transformation where he's just like just really reacting. He's not like even thinking. So it's kind of like he could dodge any kind of movement without having to think about it. He's just reacting to it too. So it's really kind of like in a flow state, kind of
He's
like
kind of
Bruce
like
Lee
an
was talking.
ascended master, right?
Something like that, yeah. It's kind of like what Bruce Lee was talking about, be formless and shapeless like water. So it's kind of like, feeling it, not that having to think it. So it's kind of like how that Goku is too in this transformation state. And there's a level beyond that too, because there's another, and then like a Dragon Ball Heroes, I think too. There's like another one in Japan I was just watching on YouTube. It's really awesome. And it's just like he has like like another uh, transformation state beyond the ultra instinct, and his hair is all silver. So, but it's
Oh
the
my
same thing
goodness.
too. So it's kind of like his react like he's in the float state. He's just like a ascended master, and it's just
Hmm.
pretty awesome. But yes, there's a lot of elements to it. It's more than just like the spiritual aspect. There's a lot of pop culture. It's like the story of Goku and Vegeta too. That's two characters based on the journey to the west, with the Monkey King and all that. And it's just like he rides in the cloud, and that's like Goku was in a kid. Then he has this, pole too, and that's what Kid Goku has in Dragon Ball. And then he kind of dresses like a prince too, like Vegeta. So it's kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Those two elements, the journey to the west, and it kind of believe it today too, how it affected our culture in the West, and brought anime to the West too. It's really interesting. So
You know, Vegeta to me is like a little big baby. It's like, okay, you're a prince, and then he gets all mad because Goku. It's like, don't be mad. You know, he's like, but let me. The thing about anime is that they always like it's like a soap opera also, and so sometimes it's like you, yeah, Vegeta. He's just, I'm a prince, and it's like, you know
he
what?
has a lot of pride, kind of like
He does. I just,
it kind of reminds me of Lucifer, like with the Bible with Lucifer, and he has a lot of pride about himself too. So it's kind of like, not to offend anyone, but it's kind of like with that pride too. He has that sense of pride because he was born of royalty of the Saiyan race, and being the Saiyan race, and their origin story is from planet Salada, from what I've heard too, and then they migrated to like a different planet, and they call it Planet
hmm.
Vegeta. And then it's kind of interesting too. 'Cause it is just like how he's changed as a character. He used to be like a planet broker too. Like he worked for Frieza, and he's like the most craziest dude ever. Like it's like he's worse than Thanos because he destroys planets, but he sells them on the highest bidders. So it's like
Is Frieza the purple lesbian lady or that guy?
he's
Yeah,
a guy actually, yeah. So
I
his
know that.
race, he's like a lizard too. So the people who voice him are women too, mostly, but he's actually, like a race of, lizard beings who are very powerful too. They can breathe in space. It's kind of like, like his brother too, Cooler. He's kind of like his bigger version of him, but more purple. His name is Cooler. So name like there's a lot of fruit references to the villains' names, like Freezer, Cooler, King Cold is his, dad too. So it's just like, with that too, like Vegeta, how he's grown up, because his whole race was annihilated by Frieza because he was scared of the same race, how they got stronger from each battle, and he hearing about the legendary
I
super
see. I
sword.
didn't know that about Vegeta, so I guess I have to cut him some slack then.
Well, I mean, he still has his ways when it comes to how he was raised, because he was raised as being a killer, from his dad, from Frieza being like his kind of like I say like a stepdad basically too, kind of like in a weird way because he kind of kept him alive because he was so good at fighting. So kind of like the same survivors, like with Vegeta and Nappa and Broly and a
Hmm.
few other people too. Like Goku, he was supposed to destroy the Earth, but he didn't do that because he got hit in the head when he got dropped in the head too when he was a kid accidentally, and then he kind of changed his personality, became good. So it's kind of like he became the savior instead of the destroyer, but he was supposed to destroy the Earth and or freeze us. So it was
Oh,
crazy.
I'm gonna put a comment up here, Jay. When you see it, let's both act like we're shocked. Okay, here we
Okay.
go. I've never watched that.
Oh, what? You never watched Dragon Ball Z? Hmm. Okay, Joe. All right. No
And then
judgment here.
here's some explanation for Beyonce that I know my daughter had told me this. So here's my daughter from another mother telling me this, that her favorite number is 4. Jay-Z's birthday is December 4th, and they got married on the 4th. And I think that Lily can confirm that. Yes, that I think Lily told me
Interesting.
some stuff like that too. Hey, Flowing, welcome. Glad that you're
Hey,
here.
Flowing. Good to see you.
Well, Jay, you are just an amazing young man. I thank you so much for sharing. So let's get started. Yes, Eastern culture is steeped in spiritual essence. Yes, in Eastern culture, there is no separation. They're not like, oh, I'm spiritual, I'm this. You're an integrated one. And that's part of, I think, for the indigenous. I'm not indigenous, so I don't want to speak for them, but I've seen a thing where their spirituality is them. They're not something separate from it. I saw things that say, you go to church, you go into a building to interact with your God. I go outside, I go into nature. And so so yes, that's that Western mindset. Western mindset is about do, not do, but to do things, right? The Eastern mindset is about being. So very true, very true. All right, Gerald. So let's pull 3 cards. So what I do is I have my uh mythical goddess tarot, and I have what is the fire deck, or what could be wands. Oh, divinely guided, and welcome. I think it's my first time seeing you here. Welcome.
Divinely guided. That's a cool
Divinely
name. I
guided.
like that.
All right. And Jay, what deck are you using?
Well, since you're talking about fire, I have the Elemental Oracle deck by Stacey DeMarco, so I'll use this one. Sounds
All
just,
right.
yeah. That's interesting. Since you talk about elements, I'll just imagine the energy of it too. So,
Elements.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, so we're never separate from spirit, which is very true. Again, which is a very Eastern. I think that's part of yoga. That when you exercise, you're breathing, your body, your spirit is involved. Where in the Western world, you just go to the gym and So
Well, it's kind of like, with yoga, because it's all about unity, with the breath, your body, how you express yourself too. And it's just really, it's like the ultimate self-care practice. And you really have to say, like, move your body with it at least too. It's like, breath work alone can be just the most
mm,
powerful thing you could do. That's yoga itself. So, like with the 8 limbs of yoga too, and I just had to remember it too. It's kind of like, like yoga on the mat when you're just doing the pose. If you're doing like a downward facing dog, if you're doing like like a crow pose, or if a headstand too, that's cool and all. If the physical practice with the asanas, but with the breath work too, that's really a powerful way to just find clarity too. So how you really just you know practice, like, connecting with yourself, even just expressing your energy and so on and so forth is really, powerful. And really how you do it is up to you, because that's your own practice. I'm
mm,
like with a yoga teacher, I just show you. I can't tell you how you should just practice, yoga. So however you do it is really powerful, and just really honoring where you're at when it comes to, if you want to take a breath for yourself today, just breathing in and just exhaling the breath out. That's the most powerful thing you could do. And that's a way of taking your power back when it comes to dealing with
mm.
challenges. So it's kind of like, someone's trying to give you shit, or someone's trying to, with anything too, just really taking your power back, just taking a breath could go so far in life too. So I'll just leave it at that.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, and welcome, Viviani. And Viviani,
Vivian, hey, what's up?
do you mind dropping Jay's YouTube channel in the yes, please, like this, yes. Please, like, hit the thumbs up on this channel and subscribe if you don't already. And then please go to Jay's channel, and Vivian, if you don't mind dropping in his YouTube link. So we're going to pull 3 cards. So I'm pulling from the fire cards. We're going to pull 3 cards that talk about what are we learning, what was the lesson, and what should we bring forward with us from Leo season.
Mm, Leo season, a fiery
Mm-hmm.
season. The lions
Right.
get all out.
Yes, that's right. We're
Mm.
using the fire. Fire.
My dad was a Leo because his birthday was on the 4th.
Mm.
Yeah. Leo's my ascendant sign is in Leo too, so
Oh, your
Ryan,
ascendant is? Okay.
Ryan's that, yeah.
All right. Oh, thank you. Gerald dropped your link in there. Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Gerald. Much love, bro. Appreciate that.
And Viviana came right behind him. So very good. So I'll
Awesome.
start while you are shuffling still. So the 3 cards that I got were the 8 of Fire, which is expression, the 5 of Fire, which is conflict, and then the Child Spark. So this would be the Page of Wands, or it's the first of the court cards, Creative Child Spark. And so what I see here is that this is the call to continue moving forward with your passions. This is the time that, yes, there may be conflict with time and communication, but your passion, take that forward. What you connected to in Leo season, what is bringing you fire, what has you excited, continue to connect with that. If there is conflict, take a step back and say, what do I need to release? What is no longer with me? What is no longer serving me? Because that's where the conflict is coming from. It's from what you're being invited to let go of. And then that creative child spark. I always like the court cards, because to me that is an invitation to level up. So that means take that passion, take what's driving you, release what's no longer serving you, and then move forward, level up.
Mm,
All right,
interesting.
Mr. J.
Yeah, I got similar messages with the Leo season, and it's just like knowing where we want and where we're going to with attraction. It's just really powerful.
Mm,
It kind of flew too when it comes to the Leo season, and this is really connected to, I know, with with the earth element too, with magnetism. So it's kind of like really with that grounded energy, just really knowing where we want and where we're going to. It's just really powerful with the Leo season. because Leos are very, expressive and confident too. And it's kind of like with my dad, just thinking about it, it's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. And just like with air too, going with the flow too, just really going with it, knowing what we want to do, what we want to just, have in our lives also when it comes to air, just going with the flow, kind of like this stallion here too in this picture. So just really being that free spirit as well. And just with the last message too about really manifesting that also, it comes to know where we want to do, just go with the flow and just really manifesting that with magic. So it's kind of has a fiery element too of just really taking action just when it comes to manifestation, connecting with our magic too, and just really manifesting what we want, when it comes to the Leo season. So really powerful stuff here too, especially with this card as also with magic. So it's all about manifestation and just really manifesting what you want in your life. So that's what I felt from what we learned from the Leo season. It's very, poof, straightforward, basically. So
That's right, that line, and also coming from the heart. I was so very shocked as I began to correlate and collaborate astrology and the tarot and the signs, and realize that the heart chakra is the Leo, and so that roaring lion, that sort of pride of connection and knowing what inspires you and what's your passion about. Yeah, and step into that magic. Very good. All right, so let's see what they got to say for Virgo season. What is coming up? And so I write the horoscope for the LGBTQ magazine here in Tennessee, West and Middle Tennessee. Cool. And so we do it 2 months at a time. And so September and October, the issue is coming up. And of course, for Virgo, I was like, oh, hail the queen. That's right, the queen of the horoscope. And so, yes. So let's see, I'm going to pull 3 cards again. This is from my spirit song. So the earth sign, the earth suit there is crystals. And so I'm going to pull those. I'll pull 3, and then Jay, you're going to use your, I like that elemental deck.
Yeah, it's a gift from a friend of mine too. It was really awesome. So I love it. Really cool. I think, Sonia, I know she saw this deck too. I hooked her up. I was like, hey, here's the link, if you want to get it. So I was like, oh, where'd you get those cards at? And it's just I've seen her use her deck too. And Sonia is wonderful with this deck too. The elemental.
That's right. I saw that deck on your show and I also got it.
Nice, sweet.
This is a very beautiful, the energy it's a very beautiful deck and the energy is very good.
Mm-hmm.
It is very good. All right. So while you're shuffling, I'm going to get started again. So the cards that came forward, look at this. The King of Crystals, a beautiful tiger. The Knight of Crystals. And then the 10 of Crystals. You don't have which deck, Gerald? So the King of Crystals, like this, of course, courage and commitment. And then the Knight of Crystals, endurance and determination. And then the 10 of Crystals, stability and attainment. So I'm going to look at these backwards. So the 10 of Crystals, or the 10 of Pentacles, is the happy family, abundance, all is well card. And I love it that this is the last card. So what is the path to that? How do you open to that abundance and bring it to you? And so number 1 is the King of Crystals. This is part of my message. And Jane, I'm speaking at the spiritual center that I'm a part of. I'll send you the message once I tape it. But this is about putting your big boy or your big girl panties on. This is operating as the king, or at the top of the quartz card as the monarch, is about courage and commitment. You've got to stay the course. And one of the things for me on my, hey, Deb, I see you're on. Deb H, thank you and welcome for being here.
Love H, good to see you. I'm going to be on your channel too.
Consistency is key. That I get all traumatized because I didn't see the results that I want. But you got to hang in there. You've got to hang in there. So bring forward that Leo passion, that desire that you want, and then stay courageous and commitment. And then the Knight of Crystals, hang in there. Hang in there. We're coming into September. We're coming into the last third of the year. The last third of the year. And so, how are we going to end 2022 strong? And this is about taking that fire energy, staying committed to what's in your heart. So many people are leaving their jobs, or it's what's called quiet quitting, where they're not letting their jobs drive them to drink or drive them to meth or drive them to whatever. Because again, this is about committing, getting back to ourselves, doing what we love, doing what is best for us. Hey, Jackie J, welcome and good morning.
Hey,
And then that
Jackie.
Knight of Crystals is be determined. Hang in there. One of the things that many of you don't know is that I have a mindfulness business. It used to be called Mindful Coaching with Villa, of course, under my government name. That business, I couldn't get any traction. I couldn't pay people. Actually, I had one person as a client and was a friend of mine. I couldn't get any traction with that business. And I was putting out amazing content. So I'm like, hey, what ifs. So finally, the opportunity comes around to me again to be able to bring my mindfulness business back. A week out from the date, I had already posted something. They tell me it's not a good time for the organization and I can't do it. So I was ready to flip, but I said, okay, Spirit, where's the pivot? Where's the pivot here? So I reached out to Out Memphis. They didn't know me. I had not done any presentations for them. They called me the next day. We had a meeting, and I have been doing my mindfulness program there at Out Memphis. People from this community have come because you can do it on Zoom, and it's also in person there. Zoom, people from this community. I'm not going to say Gerald and Dolly because I'm not sure they want people to know that it's them, but people from this community supporting me in that work. My friend Kara, who I went to junior high and high school with, and then people from the community, people from the Unity Church here being there, supporting me. It made a difference, but I had to hang in there. I had to stay with my passion. It's been since 2018, since I've been trying to do this business. And now last night, I thought, now, Spirit, I'm going to have this show with Jay, and you know how smart he is. I got to be sharp for this brother now. Don't be talking, have me up for
It's
2
just be
hours
yourself.
talking to me about what I'm going to do for the business. So I'm excited. But again, you got to be committed, be courageous. This is that Virgo energy, endurance and determination. And then what does that bring? It brings the stability and attainment. And yes, hopefully this reading is not just for myself because I'm like resonating with it. But we got to come forward. It's time to transform the world. You see the things that are happening, the muck and the dirt that are getting brought up in the public, because we're ready to clean. We're ready to shine our light. And they're depending on us, Jay, me, all of you in the chat, all of you who watch this later, us people of light. It is time for us to transform. Okay, end of sermon. All right, Jay, what do your cards say?
Oh, I was gonna list you preach on, but that was beautiful. So it's kind of like with the Virgo season, and I know Virgos are very perfectionistic, aren't they, when it comes to that placement. So
Yes, we
I'm
have to heal
studying
from that.
this. Yeah, just with astrology, I love studying about it too, and it's just the three cards that I have too is all I got the equator, so it's kind of like with the yin and yang
Hmm.
kind of thing too, with the feminine and masculine. So it's kind of like find that balance too for Virgo season. And it's just like, perfectionists and Virgos, nothing against them, but it's kind of like, finding that balance for ourselves too, just really balancing the feminine and masculine too, just, to really find that balance is really just important too. So it's kind of like with this message, with this card too, just really finding that middle ground for yourself, for ourselves, and especially you see that ball here too, just really find that middle ground, just find that balance, not one extreme to another, just really, finding that steady balance for ourselves with our energy, etc. And just, the next card that I have is transformation. So it's kind of like,
Mm.
with this one too. So it's kind of like I always think of like when I just, transformation, I just always get this like kind of sense of just reinventing ourselves, just really changing for the better. So it's like transformation. How can I, just, change for the better, just reinventing yourself too. So it's kind of like, you want to be in a better place than you were before. You want to do something new, but you still want to have some roots about yourself. So it's kind of like, how can I reinvent myself, transform basically? So it's like really with that, transformation and pressure here, it's kind of like, taking the time for ourselves to just, to reinvent ourselves, to really just discover ourselves, also just really tapping into that. And just also with this grounding message here of clarity. So it's kind of like, seeing things from a higher perspective, for
Mm,
ourselves, for our spirituality, just really, finding that clarity too. You see this beautiful image here. It's just this woman's just laying in the mountains. You know how mountains are so huge where you can see like everything around you. So it's kind of like, finding that clarity for ourselves to see the big picture of things when it comes to, anything in our lives for this year, for this month, etc. So yeah, with the Virgo season, and I just really felt the energy from it. It's just like, all about balance and just reinventing ourselves and finding clarity is kind of important for all of us too who are listening. So
mm, mm.
good stuff.
It's very good. I just on Deb H. No, I just threw her a wrench. So if you want to be a moderator, great. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I threw a wrench her way. So Jay, I'm having a blast. I'm gonna go get one of my tarot decks. Let's do some more cards, okay? So I'm gonna go
Oh,
get my tarot decks.
sure. Okay. So yes, shout out to all the people here. Yes, indeed. Good to see you guys. Jane, I saw your show earlier. And I think I saw your show recently too, Gerald. And Deb H also. I'm looking forward to collabing with you also. And seeing you guys later on today too. And Soulful Soothe, good to see you also. And Flowing, everyone in the chat. And Lily. Yes, indeed. Oh, that was quick.
Oh yes, there was just yes, where my office is and where my meditation room is. It's right there. So yeah, and I had
Oh,
enough
good for
room.
you.
I'm just having fun time reading with you. All right. So who wants a reading? Can you please put some emojis and in capitals, and we will read. Now, Jay, so while everyone's getting their things ready, one of the things I talked to you about is being a black man in magic, and
Mhm.
also me as a person of color. So I ran against some people who wanted to disparage people who look like me in the magic, and I was not feeling that.
Right.
So, what has been your experience being in these circles?
Ooh, that's a good one. I love questions like this. Being this, space too is really interesting because you learn a lot of, um, I say like perspectives from people who are like older than you, but also younger than you too. It's all about with magic, manifestation, and just really comes with spirituality, also how you express it, how, even talking about certain topics too. And it's just really beautiful. And it's just how people who just I say with the mediumship readings, they like to just they see color, they hear things, they taste stuff too with their senses, and it's just it's really awesome. Like with Ron, Ron Unconditional Love Child, my big brother, he does a lot of mediumship readings sometimes. He even uses cards too, but it's just like he does that, and also with Sonia Rain Lee too. She does mediumship readings also. And I collab with her on Instagram so many times and on YouTube also. And it's just beautiful. And Debbie Fever Spirit and Katie Moonchild's World too. Shout out to her and so many other people too.
Indeed, my little sweet Katie.
Yeah, Katie's awesome. She keeps it real. I love her. We just talk for hours. So and it's just like so many other people too. I can name. I collab with a lot of people. It's like Jana Seeker.
That's right. You collaborate with that lady from Britain,
Yes,
Shieldman.
Mandy. Yes, yes. She's awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
she's a sweetheart too. So it's just amazing how you can just share messages from cards to mediumship to taste to just with dance also, and it's just amazing. And it's just like with me too, because I always tell people like when it comes to magic, it's like taking action, how you express that too. So it's kind of like you want to use your cards, you want to do your mediumship, you don't even have to use cards. Like I
True.
know
True.
some
True.
people too, like Trina. Like shout out to her. She just shares her truth intuitively using her voice. So it's kind of cool like that, and it's just like
Yes.
interesting. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's what's up. So I even know a person who uses like kind of like a just a traditional kind of like not like a tail deck, but it's kind of like a what's the cards used in Las Vegas, kind of like those
Yeah, they use a deck of cards,
deck of cards.
playing
Yeah,
cards.
so it's interesting. It's like, oh, that's
Indeed.
cool.
Indeed, indeed. So let me welcome. If you see in the chat, if you do not, she's on Instagram under Ardelia, Ascending with Spirit. Let me tell you, this sister, every time I've interacted with her, we have
Oh,
a thread that she, let me first of all, let's welcome Germany is in the house with Ascending with Spirit. She was up
nice.
late last night. She was up at like midnight. I have to go to sleep now. Bye. It was 8:30 here. I was like knocked out. This is a mighty awesome. She is a powerful, I don't know what word to use for her. She is like I think of myself as a high priestess. That's because I'm a preacher and I'm a teacher and I'm a healer. So she's like the mentor of those. I mean, whew, just saying. So Ardelia, thank you for gracing my page today. And so if you want to have a reading, it's like Guten Tag. All right. So divinely guided, we'll just pull 3 cards each. Are you good with that, Jay?
Sounds
And
good.
anyone else, just please put the Empress. Okay, that'll work. The Empress, yeah, the monarch, or yeah, the potentate. Just a very powerful person, originally from Virginia. Yeah, been in Germany. Yeah, because your accent, when I hear, I'm like, she don't have like a German accent. To me, it sounds more British. But yeah, just a very powerful woman. Is it okay, Ardelia, if I put will you mind putting your Facebook page or how you want people to follow you in the chat? Just, yeah. She is when she's around, like it takes a couple hours for, not that I'm trying to shake it off, but that's the word I'm going to use, shake off her energy. Because she's just very powerful. Her energy, very
Ascending with
powerful. I
Spirit.
feel like
Nice to
I've
meet
known
you.
her before. And so very good. Let's say divinely guided. Let's see. You're just looking for a general information. I'm gonna pull 3 cards. I'm using my Spirit Song Tarot deck.
Cool.
And we'll get your cards. Here you go.
Oh, my dad's from Virginia, Ascending with Spirit. Cool. Nice.
All right, here we go. All right. So I know people always like to do what's at the bottom of the deck. So the bottom of the deck from your cards is very beautiful. The 5 of crystals. So this is persistence and new possibilities. And so the cards that I got for you, so persistence and new possibilities, that's the energy surrounding you. This is divinely guided, surrounding you. Possibilities and persistence. So the new things that you're wanting, and I see it in your cards right here, the new things that you're wanting, what you've been asking the universe and wanting to have space for, it's possible, it's coming. And so one is the 9 of acorns. And this is to persevere and to stay in your power. Don't feel like, oh, this is not working, so I'm going to go back to, no, stay in your power. Hold your stance that you're standing in right now. And then the Queen of Acorns, passion and creativity. Continue with that. Don't, we're in the world, but we're not of it. So don't let what your human eyes see undo what your divine heart and your divine eyes see. Move forward, believe in it, do it. And then the 3 of feathers, which is often the 3 of swords, which can do with heartbreak. So there's a place, the dream that you've had has come to you and been taken away from you, come to you and been taken away from you. I understand the feeling. Don't let that woundedness drive you. Stand strong, move forward, because persistence is bringing about those new possibilities. And welcome, Kiva. What do you have to say?
Well, Divine Guided, it's nice to meet you. And I pulled 3 cards from different decks too. So it's kind of like with my readings, I pulled 3 different cards to share a message for you intuitively. So feel free to let me know if this resonates for you. And it's just with the Art of Intention healing cards. It's kind of like a yogi oracle deck. And it's just like when it comes to seeing, and it's just like seeing your surroundings and lessons as a blessing. So it's kind of like, when you just doing that, just seeing your surroundings and lessons as a blessing. It's just like taking the time to just really being grateful what you experience, what you've learned, what you have in your life also. And just like with this beautiful and powerful message here about seeing everything, in your in your life around you, and just what you experience as a lesson and a blessing. So it's really a powerful way to just practice gratitude. So it's kind of like, for your spiritual journey, just practicing that gratitude, what you have in your life, what you experience, even the most difficult challenges too, can be just really wonderful. And just also with this tarot message too, I got the Eight of Cups. So it's kind of like, if you ever like have this, feeling that you want to just move on to from the past and just really moving forward, it's really taking action with that too. For you, divine guided, just with anything. If you want to just move on from people who just hold you back or just trying to take advantage of you or anything too, just really taking the time for yourself to just really walk away, moving forward with the Eight of Cups. And also with this elemental message here that I have for you is to really ignite that fire, to take action, to really just,
Mhm.
get that fire started too when it comes to fire too. So it's kind of like you see it. I kind of reminds me of Xena too. It's kind of like that kind of fiery kind of warriors here too. So just really taking action, uniting that fire. And the fire element's really connected to the masculine element, just really taking action to really just igniting that fire, taking action to move forward, and just really learning from those beautiful lessons that you experience also. And
And
so,
that's true. My first two cards were fire cards for her. So again, step into that, sort of that, just take that passion with you and move forward, stand your ground.
mm-hmm, yep, yes, indeed. Nice to meet you too, Divine Guided.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Please let us know if the reading resonated with you. Looks like Lily would like to have a reading. Anyone else want a reading? Please let me know. And if I missed you, please let me know. So I'll pull three cards for Lily, and Jay, you do the same.
all right, sounds good. Lily. All right, shuffle my decks again.
You are welcome, Divinely Guided. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel and watch my, um, what is it called? Mornings with Manasa. In the mornings, you don't have to be up at 6:30 my time to watch it. You can watch it later. All right, Kiba,
Mm,
I have you start. Thank you.
Kiva, yes, indeed. Shout out to her and Marshall.
That's
Awesome.
true. That's right. And Mama Marsha.
Yep, they're awesome. I always see them early in my live streams.
They're wonderful. So the cards that I got, so the bottom of the deck for you, Lily, is the Ace of Acorns. That Aries Ram looking right at you. If you know, Lily's a hater when it comes to Aries. But here you go. This card is for you, creative force and confidence. And then, of course, your next card again, Six of Acorns, success and triumph. The Knight of Shells, charm and passion. And the Knight of Acorns, action and drive. And I guess I need to say something like this is not any information you get from Jay and I, not to take the place of something your doctor or your therapist told you. This is for inspirational and educational purposes because I'm not here to entertain, but I am here to inspire and educate. But we work collaboratively with your physician or your therapist, not um, in their place. So, Lily, your message is very, very clear. I'm excited, creative force and confidence, that this is your opportunity to step into your power. Do you need to be worried? No, because you have the Six of Acorns, which is success and triumph is waiting for you. Knight of Shells. So this is about stepping into your stepping into your water sign. Use that charm. Use that all the stuff. So many people years ago, a man told me about Lily. He said if Lily knew what she had, she could be a heartbreaker. That she could just, but so that beauty and that charm that you have, that you keep within, when you step into the motherland, this is the time to bring it out. You are going back home. And then action and drive. Do it. Move forward. Be it. Bring it and live it. All
Mm.
right, Mr. J.
I got the similar message again too, kind of like I did before, but different, a little bit of different cards for Lily this time. And feel free to let me know if this resonates for you, Lily. Because when it comes to compassion, it's really showing compassion for yourself and others too is a powerful way to just find that clarity for ourselves with our body, with our mind, with our spirit too. Just really showing compassion, and just really how you can really just, really being open to integrating that for yourself when it comes to compassion. And it says, be a force for quiet compassion. So, yeah, like what we can take from this message is just to really just bring that, clarity back towards yourself, towards your heart, to your mind, to your body, and just, any places that really need it for yourself. And just as well too, I got the Eight of Cups again, so it's kind of like, moving forward, just with anything from the past, and just really moving forward, with your life too, just letting go of anything that's no longer needed, and so on and so forth. I just shuffling my tarot deck. It's like, what do you got for Lily in the universe? And Eight of Cups appeared again too, so it's kind of that moving forward energy, for you, Lily. Just really integrating that for yourself if you feel like you need to just move on from the past, and just really, learning those lessons as well. And just also with the next message that I have for you, it's just really when it comes to, with breath, and this is really connected to the air element. And with the heart here too, as you see right here in this image, just taking the time for yourself to just, to pause, to just breathe, to just connect with your breath. And just like when it comes to just practicing self-care, and just how you connect with your breath too, to just fill your heart up with new energy when you're just taking a breath in, and then the release and the breath out when you're ready to release anything that's no longer needed, just for your, for your heart too, for your emotions, just to help you to fill your cup up again, and just let go of anything that's no longer needed. And so hopefully these messages were very helpful to you, Lily, and nice to meet you also when it comes to, doing a reading for you. So good stuff here, good stuff. So that's what I have.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. And let us know, Lily, if it resonates. And then we have Kiba.
Kiba, yes, I know her very well.
And yes, thank you, Ascending with Spirit, for subscribing. And yes, go on over to her YouTube channel. This is an amazing lady. I mean, when I first saw her, she said, I something with the Ouija board. And I'm like, she's a bad person, right? Because that's a bad thing. So then, but I couldn't help but be attracted to her energy. So I'm like, okay. So then I saw her last night, and she's like, the Ouija board, that's just a brand name. You can use a spirit board. And I was like, oh, I'm listening. And then she talks about dark and light energy, and that, one of the things that I have been dealing with is that dark is it, like I told the colonizers, or people went to Africa, saw a doctor, a person who was a healer, and called them a witch doctor, right? Because to us, witch means a bad thing. But is that what they were seeing? Or we know that witches now, many of them are herbal medicine. They connect with the earth. So what they really telling us was that this person was a doctor that healed using natural ways, but they put it in words that would scare us away. I've also thought about black magic, that all that happened in Europe, that so much of the Moors and the Africans that were already there came there and really helped put that society on its feet. That's what really happened in the Renaissance. And I thought, okay, so when they're talking about black magic, were they talking about the magic of the black people that were there, but to keep us, to make us stay away with it? Thank you, Cheyenne. They're like black magic. So I'm not there 100%. Like, I'm still not, like, I'm not going to go get a Ouija board or a board like that. But I do understand that there is a balance, and that there is dark and light. And it doesn't mean that, the dark is I'm going to wake up and be like some weird demon possessed person. See, that's the old church me talking. So I'm not there 100%, but I'm much more open to that. And she is able to move within both those realms. And so, okay. I don't feel like I'm being like a groupie for her. Like, okay, I am. So deal with it. All right, Kiba. What do the cards want to say to this beautiful lady? You got your card? So you're still shuffling? Okay.
I'm still shuffling, yes, for Kiba.
All right, we've got Ardelia. We have hers. Hey, Ron. I do know. Let's make sure you hold space for Dolly. I don't know. She's not feeling well. I don't know if she shared with I think she put on her Facebook page that she had COVID, and she is on Sherry's show, which is happening at the same time. So please hold space for her healing.
Yeah.
All right. All right, here we go. Hey, Ron. Good to have you here. Thank you for stopping by.
What's up, big bro? Good to see you.
Ron is in Canada, don't you know? Oh, we just read for Kiba, and here's her mom.
Ah, Marcia, there she is. What's up, Marcia?
Cheyenne, you just being too much. Thank you. Oh my Lord, Canada's up in the house. First John and now Sharon.
Hey, Sharon, I
Welcome,
haven't seen her for a
welcome.
minute. Good to see you, big sis. You doing well? I haven't seen her in a minute.
Again, great people. I want to say, just say how much I love this community. Many of you know I shared that they saw something in my mammogram, and then I had to have a biopsy, which a poor boob. And then they're like, okay, all the stuff's benign. There's nothing there. And I'm like, hey, good. And they're like, no, we want to cut it out. I'm like, what? So I went and had the surgery last week. All the love that you all sent me, the supportive messages, the prayers, the healing energy, that meant the world to me because I have not sat down in the same room with any of you. Something that I do want to do, but the love that you sent me, thank you so much. Thank you. I love this community. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So this is an amazing community. Get hooked up, follow everybody, do that stuff. Okay. All right. Let me pick the cards just for Kiba. Are we doing for Kiba?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Unity in the community throwdown. Oh.
Hmm.
All right. Let's see what the spirit has to say for sweet, sweet Kiba. Are you ready, Jade? You have your cards? You want to go first? You go first.
Sure. I'll go for Kiba. So, Kiba, I throw up 3 cards for you. Feel free to let me know if these messages resonate with you too. And it's a very powerful community kind of feeling messages too. So, it just like when it comes to commitment, so really staying committed to anything that's important for you, that you're passionate about, when it comes to anything in your life too. Just really staying committed to that. Whatever that you're passionate about, what you want to do for yourself, and even just with people that you care about. Also, anything that's important for you too. Just really staying committed to it as well. And just like with commitment, just really being committed to the simplest structure and just how you can just being committed to anything that's really important when it comes to your health, when it comes to your spiritual health and with everything too. Just really staying committed to that, Kiba. And just also, I got the moon too, so it's kind of like
Mm,
always when I see the moon, I always feel like when it comes to our emotions. There we
I
go.
have the moon too.
Awesome. There it is. So it's kind of like really staying really committed to yourself, no matter what. Intuition, your spiritual journey, just really committed to that as well. And just also the next message that I have for you, Kiva, and it's just like with the biome, it's just all about really making us staying connected with the community, just like places like this, and even your community also outside of YouTube. So it's kind of like with the globe too, is just really staying connected with your communities, really maintaining those relationships that you have with not just your family but also with your friends too, your loved ones, people who care about you, and your environment also. So really Mother Earth like energy too with this beautiful message here to Kiba, and hopefully that resonated with you too.
Very similar message. So, 8 of shells, quest and renewal. 7 of shells, the water signs, choice and ambitions. And then the moon,
Yep.
imagination and perception. And then the card at the bottom of my deck, something that I learned watching Jane and the other readers. So we have 6 of acorns. So the foundation is success and triumph. So yes, move forward. Do those things. That biome. Do it in a holistic way. Not sometimes sometimes you gotta eat not eat the whole pizza, but at least take a look at it and cut it that way or cut the cake that way. So the
Good
eight of
analogy.
shells, quest and renewal. This is about going with the flow. The starfish, moves kind of in a strange way, but it's still going with the flow. And when there's a break, it's still able to bring itself back. 7 of shells, your choices. And if you are between a couple choices, so that the energy is choose what keeps you in your flow. Choose what's going to move you forward. Make that choice that moves you forward and for the confirmation. Connect with the wisdom of the owl, Mother Moon.
Mm,
Get your cards out. Look at those crystals. Ask your pendulum. They're only going to confirm what you already know. What you already know. So
mhm.
blessings. So we are about at the hour.
That went by quick, didn't it?
It did. And, you know, I'm so glad to be able to do the reading. So I think I don't have my calendar with me, but I think that my next show, which would be the first Saturday of September, which is Labor Day weekend, I think that's my show, which is the British Invasion plus Gerald. So it's Richie from
Ooh,
Longman Tarot, Ben from Beneficial Tarot, and then my boyfriend, Gerald from Tarot Stash.
awesome. Those your connections. You gotta
I
love
know,
it.
they're very good. They are very good. And so I want to thank all of you for being here. Continue to hold space for Dali to get better. Thank you for coming here on your Saturday. Those of you that are in Canada, my sister in Germany, uh, Houston in the house. So thank you all very much. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Don't
Mhm.
forget to subscribe to Jay's channel, like this, check out my channel for my birthday. All my 1 hour tarot reading is 59% off because I'm turning 59. Oh yes, go.
Happy birthday to you. And
Thank you, thank you. It's the end of the month, and so have a beautiful day. Thank you for being here. Blessings.
blessings to you all. Looking forward to seeing you guys later on today. So,
That's right. And make sure his link is in the bio. Take care now. Bye.
all right, everyone. Take care. Nice to meet you all.